You are building agents wrong. Stop coding and start connecting with MCP. But your agent's power is capped by its static toolset. Imagine a world where, on demand, your system could access thousands of specialized functions, databases, APIs, everything without a single line of new code. That's the promise: dynamic, limitless capability. This is the critical architectural leap from a rigid toolbox to an infinitely scalable ecosystem. Now, you are no longer just building agents. You are engineering the central nervous system for intelligence, where any capability in your enterprise can be discovered, described, and orchestrated into action on the fly. Your architecture becomes a living ecosystem, infinitely adaptable, because the tools themselves tell the system how they can be used. But right now, your system does not know that. It is manually coded, brittle, and blind to new capabilities. You are stuck in a rigid loop, constantly patching integrations, while the tools you need are already out there, waiting to be discovered. This manual glue code is your single greatest bottleneck and point of failure. You think the real problem is a lack of tools. Wrong. It is the lock-in. Every single integration becomes a walled garden, a permanent drain on your team. MCP smashes those walls, turning rigid, proprietary connections into fluid, discoverable resources. Your system finally sees everything available. That's the fundamental shift from being a plumber to becoming an architect. Manual AI tool coding is a bottleneck holding back your agents. But what if you could equip any agent with thousands of ready-made skills on the fly? This is the power of MCP, a universal plug-and-play standard. Think of it as the USB-C port for AI capabilities. You connect your model to a vast, standardized library of tools and data sources instantly, eliminating the need to ever manually code another integration. Let's break that analogy down. USB-C is just a connector. The real power is the entire ecosystem of devices it unlocks. MCP does exactly that for AI. It is the open standard that gives your LLM instant, dynamic access to that universe of external tools and live data. The protocol is the bridge, the capabilities are limitless. Forget simply connecting a few static tools. MCP is a complete inversion of control. You are not hardwiring capabilities, you are bootstrapping an economy. Any process, any data source, any API can now advertise itself directly to the agent. Your system does not have tools, it discovers and wields entire markets of them on demand. Think of your agent not as a fixed toolbelt, but as a decentralized marketplace. MCP transforms it from a programmer, manually integrating each function, into a true platform orchestrator. You define the rules and trust it to discover, evaluate, and employ any available capability, creating systems that are fundamentally self-configuring and infinitely extensible. Forget coding tools. MCP makes thousands instantly available to your agents. But LangGraph. It is far more than a framework. This is your architectural blueprint for agent state. You are not just connecting components, you are engineering memory, decision loops, and complex workflows. This is the missing control plane that turns individual, intelligent functions into a coordinated, thinking system. Without this orchestrator, you are just building clever scripts. So imagine a relay race, but the baton is intelligence. That's LangGraph. It is not a simple pipeline, It is a cognitive circuit where specialized agents, like athletes, dynamically hand off tasks based on real-time state. You are building a collective mind, a single system that learns and adapts as it runs, far beyond any single agent's capability. This is your command center. Now, for the complex part. Your system needs to coordinate thousands of specialized tools. LangGraph's state machine handles this brilliantly, routing requests instantly to the precise agent and tool required. It automatically manages context and recovery, transforming chaos into coherent, directed intelligence. You are not just building an agent, you are engineering its entire, responsive nervous system. But here's the real power. That visual map you are debugging? It is a live blueprint for intelligence. Trace a single decision's path across your entire agent network. You are not just fixing errors, you are visually architecting the reasoning process itself, watching logic flow in real time. This clarity transforms complex multi-agent choreography from an opaque mystery into a system you command. Code your agent, watch it fail. MCP makes tools instantly usable. CrewAI orchestrates specialized agents, each with defined goals and roles. But their true power emerges when these teams collaborate autonomously, passing tasks down a chain to solve complex problems. You are not coding isolated bots. You are architecting an intelligence assembly line where each agent's output becomes the next agent's strategic input. This is the breakthrough. Your researcher's findings trigger the writer, whose draft instantly informs the analyst's critique. This is an intelligence pipeline, where each specialized output strategically shapes the next agent's input. You are not running individual tasks, you are engineering continuous, autonomous workflows where data and insight flow without your direct intervention. Now measure its efficiency. A single agent executes tasks linearly. Here, the writer does not wait for idle feedback, analysis flows concurrently with drafting. We are achieving parallelized intelligence, not just sequential steps. This coordination multiplies output, transforming latency into velocity. Your system's throughput scales with its complexity, delivering compound results from orchestrated expertise. But a team is only as good as its resources. How do we move beyond single tasking and truly automate complex workflows? The answer is found in a multi-agent system, where specialized agents with their own tools and memory collaborate persistently. It's not one agent, it's a coordinated workforce. So, what makes a system like CrewAI so uniquely capable of this dynamic orchestration? Manually coding tools is dead. MCP connects LangGraph agents to any system instantly. Now, this is the shift. Your agent isn't just calling a few hard-coded APIs. We are connecting to entire ecosystems. Each MCP server is a living library of capabilities, data, logic, operations, instantly available to your LangGraph workflow. Your system's intelligence now scales with the tools it can dynamically discover and use, moving from a script to a true, adaptive architecture. This is where your system becomes truly alive. Imagine your agent stepping into a room where every tool introduces itself instantly. It's not searching, it's discovering new capabilities on the fly. This dynamic connection transforms static workflows into living systems, enabling you to integrate thousands of functions without a single line of configuration. Witness a paradigm shift. Specialists no longer call tools, they attract them. This environment, where capabilities automatically present themselves, eliminates redundant routing logic. You are designing an intelligence ecosystem that evolves organically. Your agents become curators, assembling the perfect utility for the moment from a sea of live functionality. This is your architecture, thinking for itself. Watch that single prompt fire. Instantly, specialized agents swarm the problem, each dynamically summoning the exact tools they need from a vast, live registry. There's no brittle configuration. The system self-organizes for scale, context, and precision. You have moved from coding rigid workflows to orchestrating emergent intelligence. This is the end of hardwired integrations. Your architecture is now truly adaptive. You are building agents wrong. Let me show you the hidden automation. But this is where it gets fascinating. We are not hard-coding a single tool. We are launching independent model context protocol servers, each exposing capabilities as dynamic endpoints. This means your main orchestrator agent does not need to know every function upfront, it discovers them at runtime. The system's intelligence scales with every new server you spin up. Now we need our orchestrator to discover and use those tools. You configure a LangGraph state graph with a specialized MCP client. This client actively queries all your running servers, builds a unified tool registry, and injects this dynamic toolset directly into the agent's decision loop. The architecture is now truly elastic. Forget static toolkits. We are giving these agents autonomy. Each agent becomes a specialist with a core purpose, but here's the twist, their true power is unlocked by the dynamic registry. They do not just have skills, they actively discover and command thousands of tools, making the system's intelligence collective and instantly adaptable. Watch this. Think of it like a superpowered construction crew. The foreman, your lead agent, does not memorize every blueprint. Instead, he has a live feed into a central warehouse of every tool and machine. The moment a new wrench arrives, he knows exactly which specialist to assign it to and what complex task they can now complete. And here's the magic, the system just works. You can onboard 100 new tools tomorrow. The orchestrator dynamically discovers every single one, routes requests perfectly, and your core logic never needs an update. It is self-assembling. The complexity is entirely abstracted away, giving you infinite extensibility without the maintenance nightmare. Manual coding is a trap. Let agents discover their own tools. Stop manually coding every integration. Install an MCP server for your top tool now. This unlocks a living library of capabilities your agents can discover and use on demand. You are not just automating tasks, you are building an intelligent, self-sufficient system that scales. This single step transforms your architecture. Do it today. Listen, your single most powerful upgrade isn't another feature, it is the shift from a brittle, static stack to a fluid, dynamic one. Rip out that next hard-coded integration. An MCP server makes tools a living ecosystem your agents navigate, not a static list you endlessly maintain. This is the architectural leap from playing checkers to commanding the board. Why stop at 2 agents? What happens when you need dozens, each discovering tools at runtime? Your simple graph suddenly cannot scale. That brittle orchestration will collapse under real-world demand. You need a true dynamic fabric, not just a static diagram. Let's build it. But how do you scale that fabric to production? You do not build it all yourself. For a proven production backbone, look at MCP servers. They handle the tool discovery and runtime complexity for you. Integrate them. Your custom agents become powerful instantly without the endless integration work. It's the leap from prototype to enterprise-grade system. You think that's enough? It isn't. MCP is just the foundation. The real power comes from orchestrating those servers. Your central intelligence must dynamically choose the right tool from thousands in real time based on the task's true intent. This orchestration layer is your system's brain. Master that, and your multi-agent fabric becomes genuinely limitless.